I'm like, I
But
have
it
to
is.
add that in the title, but I don't know. I can't think of it. But
It's a good example. Check that movie out if you're going to buy a house. Check it out
I
first.
just watched that not that long ago. That's why.
Yeah, it's going.
So my first question is for you, Scott. For
Yes.
someone who is buying their very first home, they have no idea what they're getting into. Um, like, tell us about the home buying process. I mean, the inspection process.
All
What
right.
do you do? What should they expect?
First after you get in touch with a professional realtor such as yourself that knows the business and knows exactly what to look for. You can sometimes steer people away from a certain project sometimes because you got an eye too. Everybody has an eye. But I always suggest like for people to look at houses during the daytime. Don't go out there at nighttime. Don't if it looks great on the internet, don't just buy off the internet. You have to go visit the property. Visit at nighttime, like on weekends, see what the neighborhood's like, and then go during the daytime see what the actual daytime is like. So those are two important factors just when you're out looking around. But when you get a
Absolutely.
once you get into a house that you feel comfortable with, you should definitely call a home inspector because there's probably a lot of things that are hidden they probably don't even see. So it could be life threatening, could be carbon monoxide, asbestos, lead poisoning, it could be mold, a lot of number of things, environmental stuff. So we want to make sure that you guys are safe. Now I look for all that stuff and I also test for gas, emissions, carbon monoxide, stuff of that nature.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like, I sometimes with the market, if it's very competitive, it's like if you ask for an inspection and you're trying to put in an offer to get a home, and people, the other agents or the seller sees that you're asking for a home inspection, sometimes they don't even want to look at your offer. They're going to go with someone who's waiving an inspection. So sometimes the market's hard and your agent will suggest you waive inspection if you really want that home. But if you're a first time buyer, you're new to this, we do not suggest you waiving any inspection. And even when you just like walk into a home, it might look really, really good in good condition, but there's so many things going on that you can't see with just looking around, right, Scott?
That's right. That's why I also have other tools such as infrared cameras that we use to see some stuff. Like you probably see me right now.
Yeah. So
And
what do you look for with that camera?
well, with this camera, I'm going to look for moisture. You probably see it's like moistures and like little blue spots. But I don't have any moisture on my walls, but that's just cold spots that you see right up in there. And the red spots are hot spots. So I would see hot spots with electrical problems. I would look at your, I would test, I would use this tool to check your receptacles, your main electric panel box, to make sure there's no hot spots in there because that could be from a loose wire. And if loose wire falls out, it could be electric fire. And then you know what that could go to. So we
Which
always
is
should,
very, very dangerous. So we want to make
yes,
sure you don't have anything like that going on. God
correct.
forbid you get
Yes.
into that home and something like that happens.
And you never know because you're just moving into it. You're just moving in. You don't know. And it's
Exactly,
hard for
without
a home
knowing.
inspector too, because we're in there for 2, 3 hours. We're not going to catch everything, but I tell you what, I catch a lot of stuff.
Yes,
I
you
do
do.
personally. Yeah. So
Yes, you do. You are, like I said, very, very thorough.
yes.
Um, so what does a basic home inspection include? What are you looking for?
Okay. Basic home inspection. We're looking to make sure the house is habitable for one. We've got to make sure you got your all your utilities are working. There's no water leaks because water is going to be a problem. You're going to have mold. You're going to have termites love moisture. You're going to have all kinds of other things, wood damage. So water has a big thing with it. So we just, we just look for the whole structure. We test your water, your plumbing. We look at your electric systems. We test all your electric. We check your heating and cooling systems. We make sure they're running up to par. We give you the age of all those high-end appliances to make sure you know exactly how long they last for. Because sometimes it can last for a couple of years and then you're done. You just bought a brand new house, but your water heater's on the way out, but everything else is nice. You don't know that, but now you got a water heater that just failed and it leaked water all over your house. Now your house is completely ruined because of the old water. So that's a big thing too. That what we try to prevent you from getting into those kind of situations. So
Okay.
we won't
Yeah.
want you to buy a money pit. We want to make sure you're safe too.
Watch the movie Money Pit, right?
Yeah, lots of movie money pit. But like
So,
here's the other thing.
uh-huh.
I'm sorry to cut you off on that. So like
No.
I know like you were talking about like it's really hard. There's some home inspectors that will sneak in without their logo on and driving an inconspicuous vehicle or just show up and act like a painter and kind of give you like a rough idea of if you should buy the house or not. That's called a walkthrough inspection. You might get lucky and get that, but you don't have no recourse after that because nothing's in writing. So you're just hearing
Mm,
some guy saying, "Yeah, it looks good. Buy it. Yeah, it looks all right." So I mean, there's a couple things. At least if it's documented, you're covered. You have something to go back to and get something fixed if you needed it. So just for if you just want to walk through, you can get that. There's really no good guarantees with that, but it could be a good, quick yes or no if you're in a bind when you're trying to buy a house when you're skipping an inspection.
mm,
So
yeah.
a couple little pointers there. I know I'm not supposed to tell you that, but if it is to walk through inspector, make sure he's ASHI certified or he belongs to NAHI, which is National Association of Home Inspectors, or NACHI. So he has to belong to one of those guys, one of those associations, at
Okay.
least.
Can you repeat those again? Like, what kind of certification should a home inspector have? Like, what should you ask for to make sure you're getting a good home inspector?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. So I belong to the American Society of Home Inspectors. It's called ASHI. So they're the oldest home inspection association throughout North America. And also there's NAHI, which is a good one. They're the National Home Inspection Association. And then there's NACHI, which is kind of like NAHI, but with this CH at the end. It's a National Home Inspection Certified something else. It's just a spin-off off of a different company, but they're all still legit. So
Mm,
if you're looking for a home inspector to do at least a walkthrough or any kind of home inspector to inspect your house, make sure they're certified with ASHI or NACHI or NAHI. Those are the primary ones.
mm. Okay, so make sure your home inspector is certified and knows what he's doing.
Yeah, American Society of Home Inspectors. That's who you want to. They're the best. So that's who you
Mm,
want to look for. And you can
okay,
also look them up on ASHI.org. ASHI.
ASHI.org.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll have to
ASHI.
get that from you and add it into the podcast so they
There we go.
know you have some information.
Yeah, that'll be all helpful for them. And they can look and see all the criteria, all the experience of each inspector, how long
Okay.
they've been in business and all that stuff. So it's good
Cool.
information for you.
Yes, it is, and we need that. Um, so another question I have is, what are the big ticket items you want to, new home buyer should be looking for that you do not want to have issues with these items? Like, you want to make sure because so this is what happens. Me as an agent, I have a client who's buying a home. Okay. Once they go under contract, their offer's accepted, we have a quick time to get an inspector in there, get them out. I get a report from Scott. I send Scott in. He checks the home out. He does his inspection. He then sends me a report.
All
I
right.
go over the report with the buyer, and we see what are the biggest issues on there, most expensive things. Is this house worth moving forward with, or should you pass on it because maybe it has a foundation issue or something major that I just would not want you to get, involved with, and give you that advice? Or is it something that is repairable? And then I would then go back to the selling agent and say, we need these repairs completed in order for us to move forward with this process. And if they just say no, they may say no, or they may want to fix a couple of the items, but it depends on what the situation is. If it's something major, health hazard, something dangerous, I need that fixed before you move forward with that home. So that's how that kind of works. So you have an opportunity after you put your offer in and it's accepted. Once we ask for those repairs. If you're not happy with what they're willing to do, then you're allowed to pull out and you're not stuck with that house. But you want to make sure you're getting into a safe home. So what are these big ticket items, Scott? The biggest ticket items that you
That's
may want to pass on if, you went under contract?
Yeah, so definitely we're looking at roof. We want to make sure your roof's going to last a long time. We'll give you the age of it. We want to make sure it doesn't leak. So if I don't see any stains in the ceilings, and I go with my infrared camera and I see everything is good, that's all great. I check the roof on top. I inspect all that. If that's all good, that's
How
good.
do you inspect the roof? What do you
Well,
use to?
there's two ways that I inspect the roof. So I can drone it or I can walk it. So typically on higher roofs, 3 stories or up, I'll drone it. Sometimes 2 stories, I'll drone it. But if there's something crazy going up there, I'll get a ladder, go up there and take a look at it real close and further dissect it. But pretty much my 8K camera with my drone picks up just about everything on a rooftop. I mean, I can pick up the smallest granule of your roof shingle. So it's pretty neat. So I can tell the layers, I can do all this stuff with this tool. So it's pretty good. And or if I can just get a ladder and just go up to the edge and check out your roof line, I could do that. Or I can get up on top of the roof. I do all that stuff. So I used to climb towers. I'm not afraid of doing any of that stuff. So I'll check out your roof. So the other thing we're going to look at it too is your structure. We want to make sure your foundation, like you were saying, make sure there's no cracks, no water infiltration getting in there. Make sure nothing unstable. Make sure the walls are not bowing out. Those kind of things. Make sure everything's sealed up on the outside because water can get in on wind-driven rains on different angles at different times of years. And it could probably get in. If it didn't leak at one point, it'll probably leak, at another point of time. Is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, the exterior structure, we got to make sure your house is waterproof. The whole envelope of your house has to be waterproof. So that's what I'm looking at for you there. I want to check your plumbing, make sure everything's legit with your plumbing system, make sure nothing's leaking, no cracked pipes, no corroded pipes, anything of that nature, no asbestos on your pipes. I'm looking for your safety. Uh, we're going to check your heating systems, make sure they're all up to par, because that's another major thing that you don't want going down. Your cooling system, same thing. Your water heater, just like I explained, with it possibly leaking. So we're checking that. So those are the main things that we're looking at: your heating, cooling, electric, plumbing, and structure, and
Now,
safety of the house. That's a
if the
big.
foundation is not good, would you suggest the buyer pass on that home?
Depends what kind of structural damage it is. Now, if it's just a crack, depends what kind of crack it is. If it's a horizontal crack and your basement wall is bowing in, that's pretty significant. You want to definitely have a structural engineer come in further evaluate that. That's probably a walk off. You probably most clients will see that and probably get scared and walk away from it. But it is fixable, so it just depends on who's got the money to throw at it, the seller or the buyer. That's where it comes down to. But I'm
How
going to
much
tell you
money
what.
we looking at?
Well, every structural thing is different, so depends on it. Like I say, worst case scenario, your left wall, your foundation caved in. Okay, the horizontal crack, your soil pressure pushed in for all this water, and now the house has settled down. So there's a lot of big structural issues there. So something like that, you're talking probably like $50,000 or more just to repair of the foundation. That's not jacking up the house or whatever else could have happened to the house if it sagged down. So
That's a big hard pass for me.
yeah, yeah. So, but like typically, what I see is usually very minor, typical cracks and foundation stuff like that. Those things can be sealed up and patched, and typically that's what I see all the time. But if it's anything like I could tell if it's going to be a major crack just through experience. I've done structural repair, structural maintenance on exterior buildings, and I know all this stuff. So, anyway, I can tell if the crack's going to be pretty extreme or not. So, if it's something that can be sealed up, I can tell you just seal it up, and this is how you do it because I know how to do all the sealing too. I'll put you step by step process and all your repairs, and not only that, I'll also give you a cost estimate of those repairs too. But that's only the major repairs.
And that's what I love about you. Not every inspector does that, but Scott not only lists all the issues that's going on in this home, but he also has a breakdown of the cost of all those repairs, an estimated cost of what you're looking at to repair that. So we get a good idea of, we need to say there's $20,000 in repairs. Then I can go to the seller. I now have proof in writing that this home has all these issues.
Yep.
There's $20,000 worth of repairs. And we can ask the seller, can we get $20,000 in repairs? They may be like, you're out of your mind, or they may say, hey, we'll give you 10,000. And then you just decide, if you want to move forward with that or not. But he breaks down everything, all the costs, which I love about what you do there.
Thank you.
It's good to know because, I'm not a construction worker or anything. So it's good that you break all that down for us.
Trying to make the job easier and trying to make the process easier, because not only that, I know you only have a few days to get things done, and you got to perform some magic, right, with these numbers. So that's why I always take extra pictures and make sure you have enough proof to say, hey, this is what's wrong. Are you really serious about this? So it really kind of helps you get things fixed in an ample amount of time for what you need.
Absolutely.
So.
Now, Scott, again, because I'm trying to educate my first time home buyers or just anybody thinking of buying a home. So with a home inspection, there's a basic inspection. What does that normally run for because one inspection doesn't include all inspections.
Right.
So
So
with a basic inspection, what are you covering and what is like the cost of that?
okay, so that's great. So we have three basic platforms that we have with our inspection packages. So basically, we have the Plus, which is what we just talked about. I go through all the structure, make sure your main stuff is all set, and then we have your Premium inspection, which goes further beyond with that. It includes the infrared camera and floor plans, and because the floor plans will be laser measured, so you can actually put your furniture wherever you want. Or if you're gonna, like, say if you want to hand out this floor plan to a contractor, their measurements are right there. And not only that, with
Wow.
all my inspections, I also include a 3D virtual tour with all of our reports. So basically, you're going to get a 3D report along with your home inspection. And I'll just pull this up real quick so you kind of get an idea of it, what your 3D report would look like, accompanied with your floor plan. So this way, when you're handing out this information to your contractors, and you say, "Hey, contractor, this is my house right here, right? And this is the floor. Like this is what I need to get done." So he can use this.
That's cool.
He can use this work right here
Mm-hmm.
to help him estimate the job if you're going to do some interior repair. So he'll have the floor plans that's all measured out. He'll have exactly what he needs to get repaired on your house without even coming to your house. So you can even have your stuff
Wow.
get out almost before you move in. So
Oh,
a
that's
couple little good
awesome.
things. Yeah. So you'll have the floor plan. You'll have the infrared camera that I showed you here that comes with it, and then we also do an appliance recall check. So we want to make sure your washer and dryer, stove, we want to make sure all that stuff's running safe for you, and make sure there's no recalls on it, because if there's a recall on it, it's going to break down on you in the future. And most appliances are not going to say, "Hey, there's a recall," unless it's something really major. So, uh, fat chance of you getting a recall notice from the manufacturer, unless you actually signed up for their what do they call it, that their warranty, like
Oh, okay.
yeah. So you might get some information that way, but we would get that information for you, and we would also provide all that material for you as far as if there's any recalls on your machines. Because if there is, then you can go to an appliance uh, dealer and say, "Hey, I need a new washer. This has a recall on it." So it's free. So you get a
That's
free
awesome.
repair or a free clothes washer. So that helps
Wow.
you out too. So if
That's awesome.
you got to work it that way. And also, not only that, the appliance repair also has like how to do video tour repairs to it too. So you just click on your little app there that we send you, and then you click on how to repair videos or how to maintain. It'll show you everything about your appliance. So it's a lot of good features with this company.
It definitely is. Now, again, what were the price ranges for those packages? Or
Right. Okay. All right. So the best way I could tell you is to actually visit the site, but I'll give you some roundabout prices. So
yeah,
our
just
start,
estimates.
yeah, our starting prices is for a typical, 22,000 square foot home. Say that anything up to that is around. I'm sorry, it's 475. And then if you get to like a 3,000 square foot house, it goes up to like seven. So it depends on the square footage and the age of the house, but mostly square footage. Uh, Also, if I'm going to California, you're gonna have to pay me my travel expenses. But
And
no,
also,
no,
yeah, and also like say 475 to 700 is
yeah,
well worth you paying that and knowing what's wrong with that home than you getting into a home that has God knows what going on with it. So it is well worth the price to, pay for that home inspection up front.
absolutely. Yeah, it'll
Um,
save you money, save a lot of headache and health issues. You never know what you're moving into. So
Speaking of that, I wanted to share something with everyone. Speaking of a health issue, because I had a client, they were selling their home. They've been in the home for quite some time. And we had a new buyer who was interested in buying that home. And the gentleman was very sick. And the buyer received the report. And, of course, I get to look at the report. And apparently, there was a very high level of radon in this home, which is Scott. Well, I'll tell the story and then you can explain what it is. So there was a high level of radon in this home, and this gentleman had lung cancer. He was very sick, and I'm more than sure that radon contributed to his lung cancer because he didn't know, how he got it, what happened. And can you explain what radon is? And I know that's a separate inspection. So
yeah,
can you explain radon?
it's a separate service. And radon is a naturally occurring gas, radioactive gas. It comes from the uranium deposits down deep in the Earth's soil. So as the uranium deposits break down, it's called uranium 222. It breaks down to a gas, turns to radon 220. I'm sorry, I got 224 then 222. Anyway, it's a gas. It's a substance that turns into a gas, radium. So actually, how radon gets into your house, it goes through little caverns and little crevices through the soil, and it works its way up through your house, and then it comes through the basement, which is typically the lowest part of your room, your house. So when you have radon coming through your floor, which could be like cracks in the floor, sump pump, open pipe penetrations, things of that nature. Um, the radon could come through that way, or it could also come through a synergetic effect, which is if you have, say, a attic fan going on, it'll just draw all that air from the basement and suck it up. So there's a couple different ways radon gets in. But anyway, we want to test our house to make sure you have low level radons. So the action level is 0.4 picocuries. So if you have anything on your radon report that says anything over 0.4 picocuries, it could be higher, like say 0. I'd say uh, 5.5. That's very high. So you would definitely want to get radon reduction system installed into your house. So that usually costs about 15 to $1,800. It's easy to fix, and look, $1,500 save your life from cancer. And a small test that would prevent you for getting radon into your house, just to detect it, would cost you $150.
$150 to test for radon,
Yeah, it's 175. I'm sorry.
175 to test
Yeah.
for radon, which is not included in your basic inspection. So it's a separate inspection. And how often are you seeing this in homes in PA?
Oh, it's everywhere. Philly's kind of a little lower lines because next to the water, it's got like little sand in the soil there, so it's a little lower. There's still pockets over there. But usually over in the suburbs around here, you have like Bucks County, Montgomery County, and Roxborough. Those kind of areas have all high right now levels. So I've seen
Wow.
them as high as like 200 point securities. So that,
Wow.
yeah, so that's pretty high. It's still fixable, but the homeowner didn't like it, so he just walked away from that property. So something like
Wow.
that. It was a big house. Probably need two radon reduction systems in there, you know. So it's all fixable. It's just worth it. They have it tested.
Yeah, so this again is another thing. Like you could walk in a home, you could love the home, and you have no idea there could be radon in your basement
Yeah,
because you
can't
passed.
smell it.
Yeah,
Here we
you
go.
can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. I mean, you're not going to know that it's there just by doing a walkthrough of the home. And this could be something that could cause cancer. This could be a health hazard to you, your children. So it's really important to get these inspections, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
And again, it is not in a basic inspection. So paying 175 is worth, you're not getting into home and not knowing you have radon in your home, which is in a lot of homes in the PA area. So you want to be careful on that. Um, let me see what other questions I may have. I think my husband. What? Yeah, so you want to get an inspection before selling your home also. So for sellers, that's another thing.
Here, let's
I always
inspection.
suggest, uh, I always suggest my sellers get a home inspection. This way you already know what issues your home has before someone comes along and beats you up on the price. You have the
Right.
opportunity to know what's wrong with your home,
Right.
get those items repaired, and then when the buyer comes in, you're like, I already got my home inspection. I
Yep.
already know what's wrong. It's already fixed. And they
There you go.
cannot come in and beat you up on the price. Um, let me,
Good trick. Good trick. Definitely works.
what other inspections are there, Scott, that you may suggest besides basic and radon?
Well, okay, for just like your average home. Okay, so you're definitely if you're dealing with a mortgage company, I mean, so in my inspections, I always look for termites anyway. But
Yes, I
in
forgot
order to
about the
get this
termites.
like in order to get this like special document, right, that the bank needs, they have to have it in writing. So it's a form that you have to pay for. It's $115, but it helps get your mortgage. And not only that, if you do have termite problems, it's going to get your house treated for termites and all the major repairs fixed because it's a document. It's a legal document, and it's designed for the banks and all the other mortgage companies. I guess title companies and all that stuff. That's kind of like beyond me. I'm just the inspector here, but uh, that's pretty much, you definitely need a termite inspection without a doubt. And if you're doing it with me, if I don't find termites in your house, I personally guarantee that I'll treat your house for free if you find termites within 1 year after my inspection. And if
Oh,
not,
that's awesome.
yeah, because I'm a certified pest applicator, so I'll take care of all your pest application needs.
How bad of damage can those termites do to a home, Scott?
I'll tell you, I did an inspection. I got a bunch of stories, but let's stick to this
Yes, give
basic
us a
simple one.
story.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So one is like in Levittown. It's a slab on grade house. There's no basement. You can't see like any kind of underneath the floor to see if there's any termites. So the only thing we do is
Mhm.
like poke around and like the walls and stuff, see like signs. But this house didn't have any signs. Looked really good, but I guess because the guy came in and painted everything pretty good and patched it really nice, so that was good until I leaned against the wall. It's like, whoa, what's back there? And like the whole wall started shaking. It
Oh
was
my
all termite
gosh.
damage. They painted over termite damage. So gotta watch out for flippers. They'll flip your house into a oblivion. You'll be like, you'll buy like the biggest piece of crap you can imagine. These flippers are crazy.
Lipstick
So
on a pig.
exactly, bam.
Lipstick on a pig. That's what
So
we
that's
call it in real estate.
the other
Be
crazy thing.
careful.
I inspected a big church down in Allegheny Avenue, and I was very it's at the top of the steeple, and there's a 200 feet. I was at the top of the steeple. It's all made out of wood, and I saw termite damage up there. And by the time I
Wow.
came all the way down, I traced it all the way down to the basement, and the whole basement was ate up with termites, all of it.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
so
Uh,
termites work. They're not religious, so that's one thing. But anyway, they work that hard. They from the basement to 200 feet up in the air.
Wow.
Termites. Eh.
I just had an investor. He bought a house out here in North Carolina, and he sent someone in to look at it and everything. He wanted to flip the house, and they didn't get a termite inspection. And when they opened up the walls and opened everything up, he said they ate through everything. They ate
Yeah.
through the beams, and he's like, I don't even know what to do at this point. Like, they just ate through everything. So
Sound
that's
like
another thing you want to make sure
yeah.
you check for termite inspection, radon inspection, and your basic inspection.
The other thing I want to add too, like if you're going into a house, right? If you're looking and you smell like a musty smell in the basement, but you really love the house, and that's the only thing that's kind of bothering you. You might want to just elect for an air quality test for a mold test. So there could be toxic mold down in your basement. Who knows? It could be Stachybotrys. My mold test will tell you what kind of uh, uh, mold spores are in your house, and it'll also tell you what kind of effect it does to your body. So it's important that if you smell something funny, just you might want to think about an air quality test. It's called.
Air quality test. So yeah, I have a few things I want to touch on too. We still have more time.
Yeah.
What are the dangers of mold? What effect does it have on your health if you do
Okay.
have
So
mold in your home?
here's this famous story that I was told when I was like in my mold class back in 2005. There was a class for that back then. But anyway, there was a story of Ed McMahon. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Ed McMahon, Johnny Carson back
Yes.
in those days. So anyway, Ed McMahon, famous announcer for Johnny Carson. He he would have he was loaded. This guy who was also doing like some kind of I guess American uh, house something. He would give out money for publications or something, buying a house or something. I don't know. Ed McMahon. Anyway, so his deal was he bought a house and it passed inspection, and then his wife died, and then he had like some I guess some kind of forensic testing done to his house, and they found out there was mold between the walls, and
Wow.
it was Stachybotrys, and so Stachybotrys is a toxic mold that could kill you. It's usually the black mold, and it's usually I would have to say usually typically on paper products, cellulose products, wood, sheetrock, stuff of that nature. So
That's scary.
yeah, so that's something that could kill you. If you're in, breathing it for a long time. If you're just walking
Yeah, that's
by
kind
for a
of
minute,
scary.
it might just give you like some nasal conditions. But if you're living in it, it could definitely kill you. Just that's what happened to Ed McMahon's wife. So that's just
Wow.
one of the stories. So I don't
So
want to
that's
scare
why,
anybody, but that's
or
true.
it's good education so
Yeah,
people know what to look for. It's not to scare them, it's to save their life and
exactly.
keep them safe. And those are like a few things that I wanted to touch on because these are things that could be a health hazard. The radon, mold. We also have lead and asbestos. So I wanted to touch on lead and asbestos as well because lead paint could be in your home and you have no idea. And there's a lot of health issues that lead paint can cause.
Yeah, especially like liver damage, elderly people, children, especially children, because it's just dust on the window ledge or just dust
Mm-hmm.
from opening, shutting the door would create, lead paint dust. And if they're licking their hands or eat, you know how children are. I mean,
Yeah,
I
touching
do it sometimes.
everything.
No, I don't eat lead, but I'm just saying I've done it when I was a kid. I didn't eat lead, but I had, we all do it. Like we put our fingers in our mouth. So it's just a natural thing for children to do. So definitely anything that could you have potential could have potential on any type of house that has lead if it was built. What year is it? 1978. Anything past 78, I believe, is when they banned the lead paint.
Yeah, so any home that was built before 1978,
Yeah,
always want to do a lead test, because more than likely the paint has lead, and you want to be careful because it can cause a lot of problems. And again, you don't think that paint on a door is gonna make you sick or cause any health issues, but it really does, and it can cause a lot of different things.
uh,
So
can,
that's
can, can I
another one you want to be careful with.
can I bring a bright light to that subject though? So
Mm-hmm.
EPA had stated that if you have lead paint in your house, a homeowner, if it's not peeling, a homeowner can recoat their house with two coats of high quality paint, and that's what the EPA says, and you'll be fine with that. The other thing too is what the EPA says: if you have asbestos floor tiles in your old basement or something, you don't have to take them out. The EPA says you encapsulate them, put another floor level system over it, because they don't want that all those tiles in their landfills. They rather just have it in place. They don't want it.
And isn't it
Depends.
worse when you start messing with it? And
Yeah, yeah. If you start peeling it up and grinding it, you're creating all that dust. You're breathing it, so that's where you're going to have problems when you're breathing that dust. So it's best just leave it in place, encapsulate, put another floor system over top of it. So that
okay,
covers just two things right there.
good.
That's two
Now,
two positives.
sorry,
Yeah,
because I'm always talking too fast.
yeah, that's good. I'm
I'm
sorry.
new with this, Scott, and everyone. I always tell them I'm hoping to get better as I go along. I'm
I'm no,
trying to.
this is my first podcast, so I hope I'm all
Is
right.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
So thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, that's awesome. See, so everybody, we're new with this.
Yeah, we're rookies.
We're
Sorry.
rookies. We're learning as we go along. This is Scott's very first podcast, so I'm
Yeah, let
sure
me. We're not rookies at what we do. We're just rookies at podcasting.
that
She's a
podcast.
great realtor, and I deal with good inspections.
And he's amazing home inspector. And look, I get very nervous, so I go to talk and I start stuttering because
It's natural, man.
I'm still nervous and new. But the important thing is we are bringing you very valuable information, and
Most
we're going to
important
get
part.
better at this, Scott.
Yeah, we will. It's the most important part, though, is the information. So, I
Yeah.
see all kinds of podcasts and stuff like that, and some of it's fun, some of it's like, what are they doing? So, anyway,
Hmm.
I think we're educational, and I think we're a little bit of fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless you
I
want,
try to
I
keep
don't
it
know.
fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're just having fun here
I don't want to be all serious, and I'm just being me, keeping it just lighthearted and
and
having
educational.
fun, but also, like I said, trying to bring you some valuable information.
Yep.
Um, and so where are you normally finding most of the asbestos when you do find asbestos in a home, Scott?
That's a great question. So these are older houses. They're usually prior 1950-ish kind of type houses, some of the 60s, but really around that age, and beyond and earlier. So those are the type of houses I usually find them in, and houses that are old, haven't been redone, that type of situation, like remodeled.
Okay.
So,
And also, I wanted to talk about sewer scope.
oh yeah, yeah. I do video scoping on sewers, so I always say it's that time. I hate to be that person of bad news. I always come out with my gloves, slapping them on. Time for a colonoscopy for your house, right? Let's get the camera going. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
joke. I have fun with that stuff, but anyway, it is a dirty job. Someone's got to do it. I'm kidding, but yeah, um,
Now,
it's
now that's
very
a whole
important.
nother inspection, right?
It's a separate service because it's a specialized equipment, for one, and it's a concealed area, so it's a non-visual inspection. So we can't see through walls. We got special tools, got infrared cameras, do certain things. We really rely on what we see and what we're trained to do. But the sewer pipe is just it's a different camera, it's a different system, and it shows you like a lot of stuff that's going on in your drain that you couldn't even. I find all kinds of stuff in your drain systems I don't even want to talk about. But Some of the funniest stuff that I've seen in drains were like money and stuff, but I want to go with the other stuff that's kind of like ooey and gooey. So let's just stay like what I find like as far as damage. So typically anything that's around 20 years or older, I definitely recommend a pipe scan because it's older pipe and it's cast iron, and it's probably going to just have a lot of corrosion inside. Could be collapsed, it could be constricted, it could have buildup in it. So there's a lot of things. Even if like I run a sewer pipe, if I run your water for a long time and everything's functional flow and it's going good, I still can't get in your pipe to look in there. So that's why it's great to have that sewer pipe camera, inspected because it could be a crack and in your pipe, it could be collapsed, could have tree roots, could have debris. The list goes on.
Wow.
So yeah, and foreign objects. So basically, a replacement for a sewer pipe. Does anybody know how much it would cost? I'll tell you. I'll save you a little bit. So, like my house, when I bought it, I didn't do sewer pipe scans, and I wish I did. And so, like typically, my house, I had a crack in my pipe. They had to rip everything back up from the street all the way up to my house into my basement.
Very
It was
expensive.
awful. So not only it was disruptive to my house, but my family and everything. But it cost me a pretty penny. So it was about $19,000. Yeah, I financed it. So it
And
was.
how much is the inspection?
Oh yeah, the inspection was 295.
295 versus
Yeah. So
19,000.
I wish I did this like when I bought my house. I wish I did that. I didn't do that to my own house, and now I know like I never tell anybody to buy a house without it because I am a victim of my own problem. Like I failed to inspect my own sewer pipe. I inspected everything else about my house. I caught everything in it. I found the radon, the mold, the termites. I did all that stuff. I did
Wow.
electric, everything, structural. So I didn't do my sewer pipe. And there I was. Now I'm paying for it. So anyway, word for the rise, 295, get it done.
Versus 19,000.
Yep.
Because the thing is, if you get all these inspections up front and maybe total cost you 1,500, and you have all these major issues, we can talk to the seller side. Like, we cannot move forward with this until these repairs are fixed. And I make sure things are done before you sign on the dotted line and that home is yours and those problems are yours. We want to get them, the seller, to fix as much as we can to take that money load off of you before you get into that house. So $1,500 for if you have to get radon, sewer scope, basic inspection, termite, whatever, get them done. Because if you really love and only do it if you really know you love the house. Don't go to every house and you're not sure and you're like, let me get an inspection because that will get expensive.
Yeah, you
If
don't want to
you
see me that much.
if you love the house, you want this house, then go for all the inspections. But you know, um, anything else, Scott, you want to add? I know time flies when we're having
Nah, if you're
fun.
still if you're still like interested, I don't know if you can see my
I'll post it
barcode.
up on Facebook.
I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's cool. And this is me if you need me right here. And also, I'm always available if you text me. My text number's on there. You can always text me if you have questions. I'm always available. If you have anything when it comes to home inspections about your new property, I'm always here for you guys.
So where can people find you, Scott?
You can find me at philadelphia.pillartopost.com.
Okay.
Philadelphia, our city, our county, Philadelphia dot pillar2post.com. And
And
you'll get
so,
my website and you'll see like all my prices. You can shop around on there and pick out every ones you want. Like hey, I want to see what the 360 does over here, what that price costs, or I want to see how much it all adds up. You can compile all that up, add it all up, or deduct stuff, whatever you want to do. The choice is yours. But the thing is, always just make sure like you do your due diligence and the most important things. Just don't go out and just get everything underneath the sun that don't need. Because if I get out there and I say, hey, you need this, then you save some money because you didn't. What I'm trying to say, I'm sorry, you would just call and says order basic inspection. If I say, hey, you need termite stuff, or you need sewer pipe scan, or you need mold stuff, I'll tell you that unless your mortgage company requires that information. But if I'm out there and I see something that's going to